Here's a bold statement. The future of Gaza hangs in the balance, and at the center of it all is a demand that could reshape the region. Hamas must disarm or face the consequences. But here's where it gets controversial. President Donald Trump has unequivocally declared that if Hamas refuses to lay down its weapons, the U.S. will take matters into its own hands, potentially through swift and forceful action. This ultimatum comes as a Trump-brokered ceasefire takes effect in Gaza, leaving many to wonder, can peace truly be sustained under such terms? And this is the part most people miss. Trump's 20-point peace deal explicitly requires Hamas to disarm and abandon its control over Gaza. Yet recent statements suggest the group may retain a limited role in maintaining security, at least temporarily. This apparent contradiction raises critical questions about the deal's enforceability and the White House's strategy. Is this a pragmatic compromise or a risky gamble? During a press briefing on Tuesday, Trump was blunt. If they don't disarm, we will disarm them, quickly and perhaps violently. But they will disarm. Do you understand me? He emphasized that this process should occur within a reasonable period of time, though what constitutes reasonable remains unclear. Meanwhile, a video released by Hamas earlier this week showed the group executing 8 blindfolded and bound men labeled as collaborators and outlaws. This act, reported by Agence France-Presse, underscores the volatile dynamics on the ground and the challenges of implementing any peace agreement. Does this behavior align with the spirit of disarmament and peace? Aboard Air Force One, Trump acknowledged that Hamas would continue to play a limited role in security operations before the second phase of the peace deal begins. This admission seems at odds with the deal's explicit terms, which demand Hamas's complete disarmament. They're standing because they want to stop the problems, and they've been open about it, Trump said, adding that the U.S. has granted them a temporary reprieve. But how temporary is temporary? And what happens if Hamas oversteps its bounds? Is this a recipe for stability or a prelude to further conflict? The rebuilding of Gaza, Trump noted, will be both dangerous and difficult, requiring collaboration with local forces. Yet during his visit to Egypt, he declared that Phase 2 of the peace deal had already started, only to later clarify that certain elements would be implemented gradually. "You're going to start cleaning up," he said, pointing to Gaza's dire need for reconstruction. But with Hamas still in the picture, even marginally, who will ensure that the cleanup doesn't turn into a power struggle? Can Gaza truly be rebuilt while its future remains so uncertain? Last week's meeting between senior Hamas leaders and U.S. envoys Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner marked a significant turning point. Kushner reportedly provided a personal guarantee that Trump would restrain Israel from resuming hostilities if Hamas signed the deal. This meeting, first reported by Axios, was the highest-level engagement between the White House and Hamas since March, when U.S. envoy Adam Baylor met with Hamas leaders in Doha to negotiate the release of hostages, including U.S. Israeli citizen Eden Alexander. During the 45-minute discussion, Witkoff reportedly told Hamas that holding hostages was more of a liability than an asset and urged them to facilitate an exchange. But is this enough to build trust between bitter adversaries? President Trump's message is that you will be treated fairly, and he stands behind all 20 points of his peace plan, Witkoff assured, according to an Axios source. The direct engagement between U.S. presidents and bitter adversaries? Officials and Hamas was pivotal in securing the deal, with spy chiefs from Egypt, Turkey, and Qatar privately confirming to Witkoff and Kushner, based on the meeting we just had, we have a deal. Yet as the dust settles, one question lingers. Can a deal built on ultimatums and temporary compromises truly bring lasting peace to Gaza? As we watch this complex situation unfold, it's impossible not to wonder, what does the future hold for Gaza, and at what cost? Do you think Trump's approach is the right one, or is it a risky gamble that could backfire? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going.